Good morning, friends. Today, welcome to our channel, the Design of Energy Efficient Buildings. Today, I am going to giving my lecture on design of electrical system in a high-rise buildings. You know, electricity is very important in every building, at every amenities. Without electricity, we can't do anything. Everything is based on the electrical. There are two parts. We can divide the total electrical system into two parts. Number one is high side, that is electrical substation design, and second is your internal electrical part, that is all your conduiting, wiring to internal work. So what are the various steps to design the electrical system in a building? In any building, first of all we have to check the type of the building, whether it is residential, commercial, retail, industrial, assembly building, because the electrical load norms are different for different type of buildings. The norms also vary from state to state, and they also change from time to time, though they are almost similar. To calculate the electrical load such as lighting, equipment load, air conditioning load, lifts, fire and plumbing pumps, we have to calculate the load of all the equipments. Then there is certain diversity factor to calculate the demand load on the connected load as per the electricity rule, because all the equipment will not be in operation at one time. In case of a multi-story buildings and multi-towers, there is one overall diversity, because all the apartments or offices of all the buildings will not be at the full load at one time. After calculating the load, we select the capacity of the transformer and DG set. There is a loading factor, mean we can't load a transformer or DG more than this load as a safety. After work out the all transformer DG, then there is selection of ST panel, which is vacuum circuit breaker, then selection of transformer, and we design the LT panels based on the different type of loads in the buildings. Fault level calculation, then cable selections and voltage drop calculations. After calculating the load based on the electricity norms, we have to apply to the authority for load approval. Following documents are required while applying for the load. Number one, the load calculation sheet. Number two, approved building sanction plan from the DTCP, that is Director of Town and Country Planner. Third is substation layout, copy of the sale deed and license, and fees and some other affidavits. After completion of the project, when occupation certificate is issued from the DTCP, then we have to apply to release the connection. The Chief Electrical Inspector inspect the installation of substation as per norms, then connection release. While designing the electrical system, following energy efficiency measures should be taken. Number one, the substation layout and DG set LT panels, they should be centrally located in the building, so that the length of the LT cables should be minimum. In a large building complex, we can have or in a plotted colonies, we can have 2-3 substations and LT panels near to the load center as per the design, because due to this the length of the LT cable reduce and it reduce the voltage drop and the size of the cables, due to which we save the energy and cost. Second is the use of the capacitor panel to improve the power factor, though it is also mandatory from the electricity board. Use of LED lights and use of the VFD, variable frequency drives in a motor for power saving. There is one single line diagram. Whatever your electrical system we design, how the incoming supply from the authority is coming, then it comes to our ST panel. From then the ST meter is there. From ST meter it comes to the ST panels and then to the transformer. In the transformer, the voltage drop from we step down the voltage, if it is 11 kV or 33 kV to 415 volt. At this voltage we give supply to the main LT panels, which is a heart of our building. From the LT panels we give supply to the different equipment in the buildings. And with this grid supply, we can't rely on the grid supply whenever there is power failure. So we have a DG sets which act as an emergency supply, and as the power fail, the DG set start automatically, and as the grid supply resume again, they switch off automatically, and so that there should not be any disturbance in the supply. This is one of the 33 kV substation. There are transformers, and this is air cooled transformers, and this is electrical ST panel 33 kV. There are certain electricity norms while calculating the load for commercial and retail. As per the electricity board, we can consider a 16 kilowatt per 100 square meter of FAR, and there is one diversity of 0.6. It means if any plot has an area of 100 square meter, then we have a connected load will be 16 kilowatt and demand load will be the 16 into 0.6, that is 9.6 kilowatt. We have to apply for the connection of 9.6 kilowatt. So there are certain DHBVN, Dakshin Haryana Bijli Vitran Nigam norms. In case of group housing society, if the cover area in FAR is 900 square feet, load should be minimum 8 kilowatt. 901 to 1600 square feet, the load will be 16 kilowatt. Likewise, up to 4500 square feet area, the load minimum should be a 30 kilowatt. For EWS flat, that is economical weaker section, load should be 3 kilowatt. Again, there will be diversity of 0.5. So after calculating all the load, we can apply a diversity of 0.5. In case of a plotted colony, if the plot area is greater than 220 square meter, then the load will be 16 kilowatt. Similarly, if it is 651 and above, the load should be a 40 kilowatt. For EWS flat plot, then load will be a 6 kilowatt, and overall diversity will be the 0.4. So these are the norms for calculating the electrical load of any plot or any buildings. For releasing the electrical connection, there are a certain power in the authority. For example, if our load is 50 kilowatt, then SD of the concerned area can release the connection, that is LT connection. If load is up to 500 kVA, then executive engineer of the concerned area can release the connection, and that will be the up to 11 kV. And if load is up to 2000 kVA, then superintending engineer is authorized to release the connection. And for about 2 MVA load, chief engineer operation can release the connection. Substation as per the DHBVN norms. If a load is up to 50 kilowatt, then we can have a LT connection of 415 volt. If load is up to 5 MVA, then 11 kV connection will be required. If your load is from 525 MVA, then the connection will be 33 kV. That is a air insulated substation, and plot area required for the substation if it is outdoor 120 by 80 meter. If load is greater than 25 MVA, then the connection will be the 66 kV air insulated substation, and plot area required is for this is 3 acre. And if it is 25 to 50 MVA, then gas insulated substation GIS, and plot area required for this is 1 acre. Design of the electrical substation. Electrical substation to have the following: ST supply from the metering cubicle shall be terminated in a VCB ST board 11 kV, 630 ampere and 350 MVA, that is the fault level of the ST panel. Substation is a 1 incomer and 2 number outgoing. The number of outgoing will depend upon the number of transformers. If there are 2 transformers, then there will be 2 number outgoing, and if there are more, then more number will be outgoing. So we have to design our ST panel likewise. LT supply from the secondary terminal of the transformer shall be terminated to LT panel. The electrical distribution scheme assume 11 kV single from the main receiving stations. Power supply at 11 kV on a VCB. Fault level on 11 kV bus is assumed to be 350 MVA. Protections. Certain protections are required on the panels, like long time protection, short time protection, and instantaneous protections, and ground fault protections. Cabling with 11 kV 3 core into 240 square mm XLP insulated aluminum conductor cable from main receiving station to electrical substation. All the 2 transformers shall be of dry type. If we are using in the basement, then there will be dry type. The transformer can be on off-load tap changer or on-load tap changer depending upon the requirement. Tap changing is done by means of off-circuit links accessible through openings provided. The winding insulation shall be class F and temperature rise limit to class F, so that 90 degrees centigrade. ESS electrical substation has the following LT distribution is envisaged on 433 volt side of transformers. One main distribution panel which suitable incomers and outgoing to suit the rising mains capacity of respective blocks and other feeders. One feeder to panel for lifts, machines located on the terrace of the respective block with required outgoing, with another feeder coming from the common service LT panel, so that the supply are maintained as per the mandatory rules and regulations. For example, for lifts, for your ventilation systems, we always provide a standby power supply from the LT panels. 11 kV distribution panel protection. 2 overcurrent 1 earth fault relays for incoming breaker with suitable CT and PTs, that is current transformer and potential transformer, ammeter, voltmeter and load manager with RS485 connectivity for incomer and braking. The RS485 is basically for as a communication cable. If you are using the BMS system, then we can see the operation of all these panels at one point. Number 2, 2 overcurrent 1 earth fault relay for outgoing breakers with suitable CTs, ammeter, load manager and RS485 connectivity. The following are proposed to be connected from ST and LT electrical system: auxiliary relays for alarm and trip, transformer faults, remote control and status monitoring of the 11 kV VCBs and CTPT units as per the 11 kV voltage level, remote monitoring of transformer faults, remote control and monitoring of all ventilation blowers, remote control and monitoring of all external lights, basement, common area lighting. Energy consumption from all load manager of 11 kV and 433 LT feeders. Remove remote monitoring of all breaker status. Emergency power supply. Emergency power supply is planned with diesel generator set for backup. Calculation for the same is attached. 100% backup for common services, lift, escalators. 100% backup shop and offices and for common facilities. Substation norms. If the distance between the transformer, DG and LT panel is more than 20 meter or are at different level, then breaker will be required near transformer and DG. Fault level. For designing the electrical panels and breakers, we have to first calculate the fault level. Normally for LT panels, it is a 50 kA, 50 kilo ampere current. The LT panel can withstand up to the 50 kilo ampere in case of fault. MDB, main distribution board, 35 kilo ampere, and DB, distribution board, is 10 kilo ampere. We have to calculate the size of the earthing. Basically, it's a current and its time. Normally, we take 1 second. And K is the value of the earthing material. For example, for GI it is 80, for aluminum 94, for copper 140. And based on 1 second we calculate the fault current. Selection of transformer DG. So by calculating all the load, diversity factor and overall diversity factor, we calculate the capacity of the transformer and DG. The transformer, if it is air cooled, we can place inside the basement, and if it is oil cooled, then it must be at ground floor in open area. The transformer and DG should be on solid ground and in non-tower area. Above this DG and transformer, there should not be any building. There should be direct access from the ground. All MCCB shall be with variable setting plug with thermomagnetic or microprocessor type. Release up to 250 ampere shall be thermomagnetic, and above 250 ampere is microprocessor type. All TP MCCB shall have a solid neutral link, detachable type. VA burden for all CTs 5 VA and for energy meter is 15 VA. ACB, air circuit breaker, except bus coupler, shall be with protection, overload, short circuit, earth fault and under voltage. All ACB shall be with 3 position test, isolate and trip. All contactors shall be H3 duty type. All MCCB, the ICS is equal to 100% ICU. All MCB shall be motor duty C curve. All kilowatt hour meter shall be electronic class 1 accuracy. Up to 800 ampere we use MCCB, and above 800 ampere ACB, air circuit breaker. At main LT panel incomer and 4-pole ACB, and at outgoing feeder it will be TPN, triple pole and neutral feeder. In case of IT and electronic industry, neutral will be 200%. This is in a tabular form I presented the different type of apartment and their type of DBs, isolator, some main size, connected load or demand load, incoming cable size and incoming MCCB. For example, in case of 2 BHK flat, DB will be 6-way type and isolator will be 32/40 ampere TPN. Size of the sub main will be 4 into 6 core mm square and plus 2 into 4 square mm for earthing. Connected load is 16 kilowatt, demand load 5 kilowatt, incoming cable size is 4 into 16 mm square and MCCB 63 ampere. For their 3 BHK apartment, DB will be the 8-way TPN, isolator will be the 63 ampere TPN, sub main size 4 into 10 square mm plus 2 into 6 mm square cable for neutral, and connected load is 24 kilowatt, demand load is 6 kilowatt, incoming cable size 4 into 25 mm square, and MCCB at incomer will be the 100 ampere. So this is in a tabular form for different type of apartment. If I calculate the electrical load of a typical flat of a 3 BHK, so what are the different equipment there and their load details is like this. If it is a 3 BHK apartment, one master bedroom with 3 toilets, 2 bedroom, kitchen, living dining, passage, balcony, so that is a and we have a air conditioner, so 20 ampere for AC, load 2 kilowatt. So this is a total load of air conditioning 10 kilowatt, 15 ampere switch, load is 3 numbers, and total 3 kilowatt. For geyser it will be 8 kilowatt for 3 geysers. For 6 ampere switch is 1.8 kilowatt, light 0.96 kilowatt. For TV load is 0.32. Likewise, this is total connected load of a 3 BHK flat. These are the different type of incoming cable size and isolator size for different type of load. For example, for 5 kilo up to 5 kilowatt, size of the cable is 4 core into 4 mm square copper and 2 into 8 SW for earthing. Size of the incomer is 32 ampere 4 pole MCB. Similarly, for 5 to 10 kilowatt, this is size of the cable and size of the incomer. This is one of the main LT panels used in the building, and from the LT panels we give supply to all the panels lying at different locations of the building. Testing of electrical panel. Whenever there is electric panel, first we test it, that is prime injection test result of 4 HT panel. This is a procedure how to test. Keep the VCB on position and continuity, check the continuity. If it is okay, then IR value from face to earth is check from the measure. From face to earth 2000 mega ohm, face to face 5000 mega ohm. ST panel incomer CT ratio 300 to 150 and to 5 ampere, connected 150/5 ampere. Relay plug overcurrent of setting of the this protections. Overcurrent as 70%, earth fault 20%, and trip time overcurrent is 0.1 second and earth fault for 0.05 second. Breaker trip phase overcurrent at 53 ampere, earth fault 11 ampere. ST outgoing panel CT ratio 100 to 50 to 5 ampere. Relay plug at overcurrent 100%, earth fault 20%, breaker trip with phase 53 ampere, breaker trip with earth fault 11 ampere. CT ratio and polarity checked, found okay. Then functional check. To check the closing, tripping, supervision and interlocking of control device. Cable testing, all 33 cable to be high voltage tested, all 415 to 20 volt cable to be measured. Earthing, measure the resistance of each earth pit by isolating from grid and from other pit, and measure resistance of 2 earth by DC drop method. Soil resistivity test, continuity of grid conductor, operation of protection relay by short circuit, the insulation resistance between each conductor and earth measured. It varies with different type of insulation and length of the cable. Then insulation resistance, we check the insulation resistance of all the cables, motors. Now we come to the DG set. DG set is basically a emergency supply as a standby. Whenever there is grid power fail, so DG set they starts. We calculate the load on the DG set and select the capacity. They are the following some technical parameters. For example, for 1000 kVA of DG, the fuel consumption is around 0.22 liter per kVA, around 208 liter per hour. Lube oil, lubricant oil requirement is 0.75 liter per hour. Battery ampere hour 360 ampere hour. Size of the room for a 1000 kVA generator will be 10 meter by 8 by 6 meter. Dia of the exhaust pipe 350 mm. Size of the cable 5 into 400 mm square. And cost is around rupees 10,000 per kVA. It is tentative. Then bulk diesel storage. For DG set, we calculate the capacity of the tank, all common services and common facility to have 100% backup. That is a bulk of storage tank is associated based on the 8 hours of DG backup every day of full backup for 3 days, contributing to about 16,000 liter of HST. Hence we install 20 KL of DG tank. There is various tests for testing of the cables: insulation resistance, continuity test, sheathing test, earth test, ST, pot test. Earthing system. Earthing is very important for any electrical equipment. For example, for transformer, DG, and this ST panel, LT panel, capacitor panel, rising main, lift. For every electrical equipment, whether it's a small DV or a transformer, ST panel, we have to provide the earthing, so that whenever there is a fault, the fault current can go to the earth. There are the different size of the body earthing and neutral earthing. In case of transformer, DG, likewise. For transformers, we provide 2 number of body earthing and 2 number of neutral earthing. For DG set is same for 2 number body earth and 2 number neutral earth. Panel, rising main, 2 number body earthing. Earthing will be a chemical earthing, including accessories and providing masonry enclosure with having locking arrangement and watering. Chemical earthing using electrode of size 80 mm dia, 2 meter long, connected with 50 by 6 mm copper internal strip, complete with excavation, civil work, etc. The voltage between the neutral and earth should not exceed the 2 volt in the case of earth. Electrical safety measures. Following safety measures are required in case of electrical substation. ST, LT panel danger plate should be there. Rubber mat should be there before the all ST, LT panels. Transformers, sand buckets, fire extinguishers, shock treatment chart, first aid box. So these are the all some as-built drawings in the substation. ST cable test, conductor resistance test, partial discharge test, high voltage test. There are different types of MCB we use for lighting circuit, motor, heavy motors. Lightning arrestor. Lighting arrestor is also very important part. This is safety of the building during raining when lightning takes place. So there is a chance if the light falls, it can damage the whole building. There are 3 types of lighting arrestor. One is conventional system, advanced lighting arrestor system, and structural lighting arrestor system. In case of conventional, we make a grid mesh of the earthing strip at the terrace, and from that we make bring down the down conductor and earth all these down conductors. In case of advanced lighting system, there is a single down conductor of copper wire, and there is one early streamer emissions system at the terrace. In case of structural earthing, we lay the conductor, lightning conductor, in the columns with the reinforcement, and make a grid at the terrace, and at ground level we earth all these down conductors, so that whenever the lighting takes place, the current can go to the earth through these conductors. Here is very lighting arrestor system. This is structural earthing system. Illumination. In all the buildings, we have to provide the sufficient illumination, whether it's a basement area, staircase, lift lobbies, corridors, and the inside the offices or apartments. We calculate the based on the lux level required. We select the lights as based on the area and lumens. For example, this is a FTL lights, mercury, sodium, CFL light or LED lights, lumens per watt, and the total lumens, color, life of the lights, life of the choke, and carbon credit. Surface mounted LED fixtures. In the offices, the lux level required is 300, whereas in lift lobby 250, and for plant room area 200 lux. In the lux level, in corridor common area 150. Here are some light fixtures in the shopping area or in the gardens, the bollard lights, atriums. Street lighting. So based on the lux level required, we height of the poles, we calculate the lights. For example, if the lights is single side of the road, the width, the h, the height of the pole should equal to the width of the road, and space between the two poles should be 4h, means 4 times the height of the pole. If the poles are opposite side of the road, then height will be 0.5 of width. Height of the pole should be half of the width of the road, and space between the two lights, two poles is 4h, 4 times the height of the pole. If they are staggered, if one pole is this side, second on the other side, then it is staggered. So then height of the pole is equal to the 0.8 times of the width of the road, and space between the two poles 4h, 4 times the height of the pole. If they are centrally, if they are the double road, then pole will be in the center of the roads, and in that case height of the pole will be equal to the 0.8 of the width of the road. Span of the light. In basement parking, we generally have a 10 meter, in driveway 5 meter, in corridor 2 meter, and staircase we provide the 1 into 18 watt CFL or 1 into 3 watt LED lights. Internal electrification. We have to do the electrification inside the offices, corridor, and inside the apartment. So there are certain guidelines, based on that we do. There is wiring details for light point wiring, for loop point if the points are in a loop, circuit wiring, 5 ampere outlet, 15 ampere outlet. So these are the size of the wire required for different type of lights as per the load. For AC point, the size of the wire for 2 into 4 square mm and 1 into 4 square mm for neutrals. All the light fixtures in all the staircase are planned to be on inverter 100% backup. Also controlled with the timer, whether it's a street light or corridor light, we connect with the timers for energy saving. So on different faces we use the timers, or in case of a road light or street light, sometimes we use the sensor. As the sunlight goes, the light will automatically on. As the sunlight will come, the light will switch off. In basement car parking, two levels are to be considered: 30 lux level on parking area and 100% lux level on entry and exit area. This is one for a wiring detail for a typical flat. So this is your DB distribution board. From DBs on this is three-phase DB, and from each phase how the wiring go to different points at different locations on all the three phases. This is one of the DB of a typical flat. The main sub-main is coming in the DBs, and from DBs it is going distributed to different MCV and for different equipment. We have to do the cabling and earthing to common area, emergency lighting in staircase, lift, lobby, basement, ladies, gents toilets, all rising mains. So we have to take the supply from the main panels to the top of the building through rising mains, and at each floor there is a tap-off box. From tap-off box we feed to the meter panel, and from meter panel to the we give the supply to all offices or apartments. Metering management. In case of whether it's a commercial building or residential building, when we give to supply to different flats and offices from the meter panel, so we have to check the meter system, what are the meter readings. We take the bulk supply and distribute to the all tenants. We are using a dual metering system because it gives the reading for the grid supply and as well as for the DG supply. Nowadays we are using the prepaid metering system, in which your tenant can recharge for example for a 500 rupees. So as soon as it will use the electricity, it will shows if this is the consumption, and amount will automatically goes down. It will give alarm when it is a 100 rupees balance. It will give the alert so that the customer can deposit and recharge it. Salient features in general are: in a standalone prepaid system with independent customer recharge unit. In this system, meter is controlled with dual display, one of the customer premises and other as a in the common areas. Meter panel. Meter has inbuilt cutoff device and intelligent software programming to work independently as a postpaid system. Meter is recharged by sending a coupon to meter by CRU. Coupons are generated on the site, maintained server loaded with our software. Meter is also compatible with the centralized AMR system. In this system, meter transmit data to local server through a LAN Cat5 networking with the use of converters. The server remains active and logs all the data sent by the meter on set interval. Meter can also be recharged through server along with the CRU. So these are the main benefits by using the prepaid metering system. external lighting. We have to do the external light like street lighting or road lighting, and there are the feeder pillars at different locations. From the feeder pillar we give supply to the electrical poles. There is some relay or sensor in the feeder pillar. As soon as the sunlight goes, the light will on. As well as the sunlight will come in the morning, the light will be switched off automatically. Due to this, there is saving of the electricity by using the LED lights in the common areas or even inside the building. Facade lighting to illuminate the facade. Space planning. There is some we have to space planning for different type of equipment. So 11 kV meeting unit, the size of the room required for for 11 kV distribution panel, 11 kV CRT die type transformers, main LT panel, main shaft in all block. So they are the size of the equipment tentative and size of the room and locations. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.